It was a move to a remote 160-acre homestead on the John Day River in Sherman County, Oregon, with her husband Jerry in the early 80s, that really got Jane Kirkpatrick's writing ball rolling.
Once we got electricity on this property that we were moving to, and we're building a house and doing all this, I would write letters. Didn't know anybody, had 160 acres, nothing on it. And so I wrote to tell people that we were all right, that we had.
This was like before everybody had their cell phone and the internet all the time.
No cell phones yet. And one of our friends said, when we get your letters, we don't read them right away. We wait until after supper, and we turn off the TV and we read them out loud because they're like a chapter in a book.
Wow. And
so I thought, well, maybe I could write a book, not about how to do it, because everything that could have gone wrong went wrong, but about following your heart, about choosing to do something even if the rest of the world thinks you're off your rocker.
Homestead, a memoir, tells Jane and Jerry's homesteading story. It was Jane's first book and the beginning of her long literary career, which now includes some 20 historical novels, and her newest release is one of those, One More River to Cross.
Part of why I have turned to fiction about historical women, actual historical women primarily, is because their stories have not often been told. Their husbands, brothers, fathers, and sons, their stories are told. But I think people, when they read about real people, like the current book, these women on that wagon train, that there's something about knowing that they faced just incredible hardships, and they found strength through family, friends, faith, whatever kinds of things they could draw on. And I think that's inspiring for people.
How did you find out about this particular wagon train party? What made you want to write about this particular group?
Well, it was a part of a footnote in another book. I was researching a book called A Light in the Wilderness, which is about one of the first African-American women to come into Oregon with her white common law husband in 1844-45. Wow. There was a footnote, and the man who wrote it came across the cabin where 8 women, 17 children, and James Miller spent the winter. And I thought, what were they doing there, and who were they? And so that set me on my journey to find out who they were, and it was just a grand privilege for me to discover these people and to try to tell their story well.
Jane's work has inspired other works of art, quilts, paintings, and stage productions, for example. And she's won numerous awards, including the prestigious Wrangler Award from the Western Heritage Center, the Willa Literary Award, the Carroll Award for Historical Fiction, and the 2016 Will Rogers Medallion Award.
They're all great stories, and I just hope I've told them well. That's they're great stories before I ever try to write them down.